Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's patch notes for iRO Chaos Renewal server. This week we'll go over some of the turn-in changes, events, the Spotlight update, other updates, and some of this community information down here. Server is still down for maintenance this week, but the patch notes are fully posted, so we'll be able to go over it. So first things first, we have the low turn-in, which features perimeters and ribios. I have tabs here open for them, so we can take a look at each one. I generally would not recommend this turn-in just because of these monsters right here. They're passive, so they're not going to be aggressive to you. They're not going to mob and be easy to kill. And they have about 6 different ways to use Aid Potion. And so that's overall, it's just gonna heal everything, and it's gonna slow down your kill counts. And it's just really not a good place to be if you're trying to level a low character. It's just not a good mob to have around. And then we have Ribios here. Neither one of these have really spectacular experience rates either. So you're probably better off leveling elsewhere, like Juno Bounty Board, or maybe like getting a party and going to Magma or something like that. This is probably not going to be your best bet unless you really need a party to level. But yeah, so that's low turn in. I'd probably skip it this week and maybe focus on mid or high if you're able to level in those ranges. Mid TI has Lolliruris and it has Nagas. Lolliruris are cool because they're Dark 4, so Holy Cannonballs will do a crap ton of damage to them. And they do give a decent amount of experience. They also have pretty good drops. They drop Alunium quite frequently. And other items like Black Cat Doll you can use to make a drooping cat and stuff like that if you're old school and want to make it the old-fashioned way. There's also Naga. Naga is kind of the only thing that makes this really not the greatest turn-in. Reason being is they do have Water Ball, and Water Ball can do a significant amount of damage to you if you're not prepared, so you'll want to bring a Water Armor here at the very least. They do Water Ball 10% chance, so if you have a mob of 10 of them, you're almost guaranteed to get hit by it at some point. So keep an eye out for that. But they do give good experience. They don't have the highest health in the game, so I mean you'll probably be able to one-shot them on most characters in that range. So if you want to level a mid-TI character, I recommend doing that this week. Lastly, we have Miming and Antique Book, and these are both pretty good. Mimings have pretty low HP. Antique Books have pretty high HP. They're both formless neutral monsters, so if you have a formless shield, you can protect against both of them. And if you have a formless weapon, you can do good damage against both of them. So I would definitely recommend high TI. Most classes will be very good here. And so that does it for that. The event, they have a fishing event going on. I'll have a link to that in the description. I haven't done it yet personally. It doesn't seem too fun, but they do have some nice headgears here that you can win. And there's charts here for what bait you can use, what fish you can catch, and then how much each fish is worth. There's also a page on the wiki if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the value of the currency and how many it takes to trade in for stuff. So next they have a Spotlight update, which I think is pretty bad overall. Reason being is they're going to kind of band-aid fix it. So first of all, they're taking away the way Spotlights work now, where they're going to increase the mob count for each map that the Spotlight is on. They're going to keep the spawns the same, and they're just going to give us a broad server Spotlight for the next month, which is pretty band-aid. I'm not really thrilled about it. The way Spotlight used to work is they would increase the mob cap, they would increase the experience for each mob, and they would also, I think they increased the drops, but I'm not really sure. But they would spotlight certain areas, so most recently it was Juno, where you would be able to kill anything in Juno, and there would be a higher mob density and stuff like that. And that included like Magma Dungeon, so it was pretty good leveling from like 70 to 125. And then normally they would spotlight like New World, where you would go 125 to 150 because Scaraba is pretty much the only place that you can go to level in that range. And then after that, you would have like an Aldebaran or Lighthousen Spotlight to go from 150 to 175. And you'd have increased mob spawns. The reason this fix is terrible is because it's only giving you a 75% bonus experience Band-Aid fix on all mobs. It doesn't increase the amount of mobs that there are. So rather than doubling the spawn, they're giving us a 0.75 or 1.75% experience multiplier. So I would rather kill 2 monsters instead of 1 monster because you get 100% more experience that way. This is just 75% more experience. So literally this is worse than what it was before. And then they're saying spotlight events will be returning to an older form where they spotlight certain quests in the game. And quests are terrible. There's no quest in the game that gives good experience, except maybe like the god item quests that people used to farm back in the day. But like, there's better ways to get experience nowadays. So literally, it's just screwing the whole spotlight system. And I guess some people are happy about that based on some of the replies in the thread, but most people probably won't be happy about it or don't understand the implication of what this means. So hopefully that sheds some light on it. This is much worse than what it was before. Hopefully they do not stick with this model. Lastly, they have an Enriched Hammer event going on right now. So what this does is when you go to upgrade your gear, it needs to be +7 to start with, and you used Enriched ore, and your gear will not break. It will just go up or down. So if it fails, it goes down. If it succeeds, it goes up to +9. So you can get from +7 to +9 fairly safely. So if you want to +9 some gear, this is the best way to do it. If you want to go for +10, good luck. This is probably one of the better ways that you could go about doing it. But the catch is that when you're trying to go for +10 from +9, you don't get to use the enriched rates. You have to use HD if you want to do it safely. And if you're looking at HD, the refine rate for that is not so good. It's like 9%, I believe. Yeah, it's 9%. So, you're probably more likely, it's probably most cost effective to go for +10 this way, but it's going to be expensive. So very good for +9ing at the very least. If you want to go for +10, you can definitely do that. And there's going to be fire sale boxes in the Kafir shop this week. There's one item that they've listed, but I'm sure there's going to be more than just the Hermes scarf box. So we will see what that ends up being. Lastly, the community event, Ragnarok's Got Talent, is going until July 31st. So if you have any videos, drawings, sculptures of iRO that you want to upload, you can. If you made a Ragnarok related song, you can upload that. And if you wrote a short story, you can qualify for that. If you win, you can get one of these costumes that are available, and who knows, you might get multiple if you enter in multiple categories. I'm not sure how that works. But for more information, you can check out this event page, and if you upload your content here, you'll be entered to the contest to win. So that's it for the patch notes this week. I'll have a leveling video uploaded shortly, but thank you for watching, and keep your eye out for the next one.